Ladies and gentlemen, professor, fellow students, anybody who's watching this, my name is Whit Petrell, and welcome to my leadership interview presentation for Communications 430. I was actually really excited for this assignment because I love interviewing people. I love learning something new, but I was also a little bit scared of this assignment because when it talked about finding someone in a leadership role, I wasn't really sure who I was going to get. I had the opportunity to sit down with Mandi Witkower, who is the director of entertainment for a casino out here in Indio, California. She's been in this position for over 15 years, I think. I have been working with her directly for the last 13 years as a musician working with the casino. The musician and the marketing department work really well, and she became such a good friend. Her department is in charge of promoting and marketing everything for the casino. And that's literally the field that I'm studying that I want to get into. So this is a win-win. So the interview process was great, especially because it was a friend of mine, but I got a chance to ask her questions about before her career, during her career, and where she sees herself moving forward. I asked a lot of questions, and I'm not going to go into every single one, but there are two main ones that I want to talk about. The first question that I wanted to dive into a little bit deeper, I asked her, what's the most important lesson you learned about leadership prior to your current position and career? We talked a lot about this, and to sum up our conversation, she basically said one of the most important lessons that she learned was to hire the right people that you can trust to lift you up. She said that together you guys can lift each other up and be successful, but you have to be able to trust each other's skill set. She also said that if you are trying to micromanage, you really close yourself off to potential growth within your team. I thought that was such a great concept where everybody works together to just lift the whole team up. But I think before our conversation, I overlooked the aspect of that being something that you should look for in the interview process. Now, in our textbook in chapter 8, it says, unfortunately, trust is fragile. Untrustworthy acts can quickly undermine attempts to build a trusting culture. And then it goes on to talk about Wells Fargo and their reputation and what happened with their brand. That would be an example of a big, giant mess. And in Mandi's department, I think it's a little bit more on smaller scale because of just the sheer size of the department. But hiring trustworthy people and having that trust in your team, I think, is probably one of the most effective ways to have great leadership. Now, the second question that I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into, I asked her, out of the 3 leadership styles of authoritarian, democratic, and laissez-faire, I don't know how to pronounce it. Which do you prefer employing with your team, and why does it work? Now, to be honest, I was really excited about this question and this conversation about this topic because those 3 leadership styles are very, very different. And I know that they all work in different settings. So the fact that I want to be jumping into a marketing field, I was very curious about how she runs her team. She told me that she tries to employ a good balance between democratic and laissez-faire. But before we jump into that, let's talk about what all 3 of them are. Now, I'm definitely summarizing this. This is not a definition, but from my understanding from reading the textbook, authoritarian deals more with control, deals more with you have consequences for certain things. There's you're late, you get docked pay. There's a lot of consequences. Democratic is a little bit more when everybody talks together and we share opinions and share ideas and we all kind of work together to make this happen. Laissez-faire is more like we have some groups and you're in your group and you guys handle it. The more hands-off I am, you guys can work together to make this happen. So like I said, she tries to balance democratic and laissez-faire. She even said that during the interview process, she'll tell people that if she has to start micromanaging their day, it's probably not a good fit. She also mentioned something that made me sit at the edge of my seat. She said that she loves to sit around brainstorming once a week with her team, and she loves to hear the ideas and opinions of everybody else, but she also loves to be challenged on her own ideas and opinions. And I thought, as a leader, why would you want to be challenged? But she told me that it's good to be challenged because that will reaffirm that what your direction and your vision is correct, or you have a chance to look at other ideas and see which one is the best way or the best direction for the department. I thought that was really smart. She also said that she loves to hire people who are better at what they do than she is. So what I'm getting from her is that she's hiring a team of rock stars who are great at what they do. And with her leadership, she's able to get good points and good ideas and good opinions from everybody and cultivate everything and move the department in the right way. I love it. So with all of that being said, and if I could tie a nice little bow around this whole interview process, I think what I would say is that the most important things that I learned from the interview process and correlating that with everything from our textbook is that the main things, trust is super important, and being able to identify which style of leadership will work best for the situation and the firm that you are working with. Now, with her department, democratic and laissez-faire seems to work best. Obviously, maybe authoritarian will work best in another situation. So that's something that will have to be taken into account in every situation that you're in. But like anything in life, you got to have trust there. All right, guys, that is it for me, Whit Petrell, and my leadership interview presentation that I had with Mandi Witkower, who is the director of marketing for Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. Man, I had such a good time and I learned a lot. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. That'd be great. I'd love to hear from you, and hope you guys are all doing great and being very successful in everything that you're doing. Take care.